All right, Rabbi Isai, here we go. Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Yavaldik, Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Welcome to all the guests. Welcome to myself. It's great, huh? Listen, the good news is I'm going to repeat next year. Be'ez Hashem, if Mashiach doesn't come, we got to repeat the same thing. Not only that, in about 3 weeks, he had enough for me. I got to do it slowly. Ease it in. We're going on the Morocco trip. Mama's 3 weeks. Oh, there comes the summer. There comes the kids are. This is actually turning out to be a satellite location, Rabbi Isai. It's geschmack. All right, Shalom Aleichem, guys. What's your name? Shalom Aleichem, from? Manchester. And these guys are related to you? No? Shalom Aleichem, guys. Okay. Who else is new here? Rabbi, so we have new screens on the sides. And if they work out well, you'll see the saturation, the color is unbelievable. So we're going to change. But your necks are going to hurt today because everybody's going to want to watch on those screens. Reminder, today is Chamisha Yoim Sheim Shnei Shavuos V'Yoim Echad Ba'omer La'omer. It's Baruch Hashem, I could say it for the first time. No, in America, I was like, it was the next day, so I couldn't really say it. The Sfiras HaOmer was dedicated to the Refuas HaAdmar Vision Shlita Kvei Kedushas Mar Yisrael Ben Leah Esther Refuah Shleima. So I've been talking about this for a long time, and finally it happened. Now, I don't know how real it is, but he said it's real. He said it was real. I asked him, and that's the first thing I asked the guy. I say, those are my words. My first word coming out, MS? And he said, yeah. And I asked his wife, and she said, yeah, every single time. So this is my dream. People always send me pictures of people watching the shiur on a plane, but I never saw it. So here it is. Here's a guy sitting just like 5-6 rows ahead of me, watching the shiur. So I, to my wife's horror, I got up with a video camera. First, I told the stewardess, I said, I think he's watching me. So she says, זה ממש מרגש. אני הולכת להגיד לו. Don't worry, I'll embarrass myself. Don't worry. Anyways, I go there. No, that's the Nikuda here.
They're catching up for sure.
So I forgot the guy's name, but he told me, he said like this, he said, everybody sends you emails that the daf changed their life. It changed my Shabbos. I have a different Shabbos, I do Chazara, I learn. Shabbos is different. And his wife said every time he's on a plane, now this was Mardik. After I introduced myself, so this girl, listen to what she says. This is what she calls me.
Yeah.
She did that for a few minutes until people said, enough! All right, Givaldik. We were talking about Shemesir Chalas, so Yossi Eagle, Yossi Haimish Bakery, Bar Park, came to and
du der Rebbe Schale.
Everybody does Chalas.
Kennt sich Maske an der Teufel, will Broche. Kube Shabbos, Koide ist richtige. So geht ein richtige Shabbos.
Ah, yeah. He has Yossi's Haimish Bakery, whatever it's called. Today's Rosh Chodesh, so we do once in a while, if I remember. I'm supposed to remind Oilam every single Rosh Chodesh, but I skipped a bunch. MDY Monthly, it's a big source of our... It's a big, every dollar counts, every monthly counts. I thought this is very interesting because I received 2 emails within 5 or 6 minutes of each other. You see, the next one was 11:44 and 12 o'clock. So, same day, Thursday, April 16th. And both of them said something very similar. Dear Rebelli, many thanks to you and the whole MDY team on bringing the Daf to life. While I did not start learning the Daf Yomi with MDY, joining it has brought much needed clarity to my Daf learning, particularly in Kachim. This is truly amazing. The lighthearted nature brings additional simcha to my learning. Also, thank you for... Also, you're able to read it. You don't have to turn your neck. You guys can watch theirs. It's a different... Okay. Something that nobody noticed here, just me, of course, is that screen is higher than that one. It's making me a little nervous. So, you want to argue about it, I brought up my tape measure for other reasons. Oh. I wanted to query whether you're correct at pointing I've made a couple of times the last few days, suggested that whenever Yid visits the Beis HaMikdash, he must bring another Sriya. I hope I didn't say that. I didn't mean that every time you go to the Beis HaMikdash, like if you go every single day, you have to bring on Yantif. He's just clarifying, we're talking about the Shalosh Regalim. I think I mentioned it, but obviously he didn't understand it like that. Kol Tov. Thank you again for your huge Mesiras Nefesh to your family. And there's Barry Gross. And this person says, opportunity to use the current look, overlay, AI overlay. Now, Yidden will only learn from Maggid Shir, just the beard. In all seriousness, I have the merit to learn Daf since 1998. I discovered that after the fact, that I learned visually after the fact. MDY is taking my learning, Daf Yomi, to a different level. Chazaku Baruch, thank you, artist Moshe ben Shlomo Aryeh Yerushalayim Kodesh. Official edition of White Shots, Masechta by the Iranian Levi family's Perik, the Palchik family, in memory of our grandparents. Daf Tzadik Vav, the Bibi family, in memory of Shimon Hai ben Maria Bracha Dvora and Moshe Hayim Aluf. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avimori, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiz Rechon Racha, by Joel Gedalis, Lilin Shmas, my father Jack Gedalis, anonymous, Hatzloch Baruch Nizu Begashmis. The Palchik Family Foundation, Zechon Nishmas, Harav Agoyin, Reb Shlomo Palchik, the Meshach Ilui, anonymous, Refuah Shleima, Moshe ben Izar, anonymous, for complete Refuah Shleima and Arichas Yom, Talei Basester, Yisrael Malki, Tavli Torres, Pichom Alfi Zov Achetzev. We are so proud of Yaakov Mordechai, keep steiging. Sending Rose and family, Canvey Island, UK, in honor of Eli, who changed my meaning of life. Playing Almani, Yasim Mark, and Benny, and all the Iskim Tzorchim DY, because Bogu Shalom Scharim. Multi-sponsor, Ari Simon, Refuah Shleima, Avimori, Baruch ben Miriam, Shalom Aleichem, Reb Aryeh. Weekly sponsors, anonymous, in honor of Eli, Mark Ashkenazi, and the entire MDY crew, who did not slow down for a second. It's an opportunity to say Yishkoyach in front of you guys. I don't know if you heard the shiurim or not. Some of you didn't have the opportunity to hear the shiurim, but people like Mark Ashkenazi, starting with him. All 30 days that I was gone, 2 shiurim a day, that's 60 shiurim, that's 60 hours of Erev Yantiv, Matzah Yantiv to 2, 3 in the morning, Erev Yantiv till almost Shkia by him, etc., etc. Crazy dedication to all the artists. Some of the artists stayed up all night in certain dapim to get the shir Erev Yantiv. I had to give like extra dapim those days, so they stayed up all night. I have WhatsApps from them in the middle of the night, 3, 4 in the morning. So yishkach to all the artists, yishkach to all the editors. Crazy hours. They made it happen. The daf was always there, always on time. Yishkoyach Gadol to all the people here in the Beis Medrash that showed the shir, to Benny, to Dave, to Yoel, to all sorts of people that came in and helped out. So Yishkoyach Gadol Moed. What's his name? Geffner? Yeah, hold on. What's the Geffner guys? Sal Geffner got me and my family here on an Alal flight, which was hard to get. So I want to say Yishkoyach, I'm here because of him, or one of the reasons. It was very hard, and he got us good seats, window seats, an aisle, and he got me and my wife exit seats, had extra room. Yishkoyach Gadol Moed. Yaakov Schwartzberg, is he here? Yaakov, manishma. Yishkoyach al madrigot. He cleaned. If you notice, the guy went up the stairs. He worked in the sun, scraping on his hands and feet, literally scraping the stairs and v'chulu. So let's try to take care of those stairs. Don't spill your coffee on them. V'chulu v'chulu. Daily sponsors Yoni Kletzik. In honor of Reb Shimi Goodman, MPY's best and smartest. People told me. They said they missed the puns. They missed. Yoni Kletzik, in honor of Reb Shimi Goodman, MDY's best and smartest editor for the MDY Gemara.
He just keeps on climbing.
Shimi Goodman.
Stop railing on him.
All right, check it out. So 1 minute. This guy, Shimi Goodman, is MDY's best and smartest editor for MDY Gemara. Maybe the Ali Zayis guy? He's the Ali Zayis editor for Chulin. All right, check it out. Mazel Tov on my son Shimon becoming a chassan a few hours ago. Oh, the daughter of Rabbi Yosef Chaim Berman of Lakewood. Mazel Tov. The consortium, the island is very excited, are you? Consortium. Welcome back, Rebelli, to the mothership. MDY Art, Refuah Shleima Yonatan Edem B'Shav Bracha, Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. And the Refuah Hayela Daniel Zev Ben Ayel Esther. Boys, here we go. Where's my clock? What's going on here? on my screen, on top. I see. Gewaldig, that's good. Well, today for sure, because you're going to see different colors. I want you guys to, when I show the video, just check out. Oh, you could. What I don't like about it is, I didn't notice this until now, but it looks like I have gray hair in that one. What's going on? There was a very, very depressing moment in my life. This Ben Zmanim. I went to get my real ID. In America, you need real ID and change. My license expired on my birthday. So I went to get it. Sir, hair color. Weight. 190, no? But after Pesach, I start telling her I went up 30 pounds now. Since I left, it's going to go. Sir, hair color, gray. It was not a good. Nicht gut. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I guess the whole place is. Noam, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Right there, Zok the Heilige Mishnah.
Join them on their tours. Be the graybeards.
Oh, I can go with the graybeards now. It's first my license. Wow. Says the Mishnah. Rabbi Isai, exciting stuff. We're holding up Tzadik Vav Amud Aleph by the Mishnah. One of the good things about the Ben Zmanim, because we weren't so constrained by time, we pretty much got to the day's daf usually. We weren't falling behind. Today, 5 lines in already. Baruch Hashem. Says the Mishnah, Chavite Kohen Gadol. You have these breads that a Kohen Gadol brings every single day. 6 in the morning, 6 in the evening. The way it works is that he would bring flour from his home, as in, I don't know, my button is not working. A larger kli, an isarid, and then he would divide it in half with a smaller kli. If I were to ask you right now, is there a difference between the larger kli and the smaller kli in terms of Kedusha? So you guys probably wouldn't know, wouldn't remember. So the Mishnah actually tells us. Huh? We learned a little bit of it, but who remembers such a thing? No, are you? No, that was a different sugya. But does the large kli have? Wow. Look at that screen and look at the screen I'm looking at. It's crazy. It's like dull. Okay, maybe you can change the coloring on that also. Who knows? No, okay, fine. So, what we're going to see here is as follows. Since the Chatzi Isarin Kli has Kedusha, only it has Kedusha, not the larger Kli. The larger Kli doesn't have Kedusha. So if you take a look at the Mishnah on Daf Tzaddik and the Beis, just throwing it out there, maybe out of order, but it says, Achas shtei alechem v'achas lechem aponim, the 2 breads of Shavuos and the lechem aponim that we put on the shulchan every week, lishasan v'arichasan bachutz, you can do it outside of the Azara. Now look at this Mishnah. Why? Why the difference? The answer is very simple. Because shtei alechem and lechem aponim we use the larger kli called the isaron, and that doesn't have kedusha. The Chavite Kohen Gadol we use the smaller kli that has kedusha. Once it has kedusha, the clock starts ticking. Isurim come into effect. What isur? The isur yotzei, the isur lina. All these isurim start coming into effect. So you can't take it out of the Beis Hamikdash. Therefore, if you use the smaller kli, so it can't be in your home. You can't do the smaller kli in your home because now you just gave it kedusha, and now it's in your home, which is outside the Beis Hamikdash, and you're over and yotza on the spot. So therefore, Chavite Kohen Gadol lishasim harichazim afiyasim b'fnim. Let me just show you Rashi real quickly, then we'll show you a beautiful video. You'll understand it even better. It says Rashi. So what is the difference between the large kli and the small kli? That is the one that's Mashiach for Moshe Rabbeinu who put the oil, made it kadosh. So why didn't they do the same thing for the larger one? Since it's used not only by the Kohen Gadol, by other people, by anybody that brings a mincha, he has to measure the Yisaren. So you could bring it outside of a mistake. So that didn't have Kedusha. So that's why it explains to us why the smaller one has Kedusha, larger one not. Now, these are the things that the Mishnah mentions. In the Mishnah, we're going to see Lisha, the kneading of the bread, the Aricha, putting it into a form, Va'afiyasan is the baking. Then you have tchina and harkada. Tchina is to grind it. Harkada is to sift the flour. These are the 5 things. So some of them happen before the half a kli, the half a yisarin. So they don't have the kedusha, and it's not a problem of yaitza, like grinding. You could grind outside of the Beis Hamikdash. You don't have to bring a grinder into the Beis Hamikdash because you didn't put it into the kli yet. So let's see the video. Aricha, Afia, and then you put 6 breads in the morning, 6 in the evening. Okay. So says the Mishnah, Chavida Kohen Gadol Ishasan, Marichasan, Vafiyasan Bifnim. You're going to get used to that also. I think all people watching it at home should also upgrade their screens. The Samsung springs. Fine. So Memela, the Aricha, the Lisha, the Afia, this is all post the Chatzi Sarin Kli. So it already has Kedusha, so you have to make sure it's inside the Beis HaMikdash. V'doichos is a Shabbos. So again, and why yesterday's daf, Shtei Alechem and Lechem Aponim, the Aricha and the Lisha could be outside because it's using the larger Kli. Great. V'doichos is a Shabbos, it pushes off Shabbos. You could do all this stuff on Shabbos. But grinding and sifting the flour you could do in a factory somewhere. It doesn't push off Shabbos. Any melacha that you could do before Shabbos, like in Bris Milah we had the same thing. You could bring the izema, you could bring the knife before Shabbos, so you do before Shabbos. And Shabbos, you can't push off Shabbos because of that. But anything that you can't do before Shabbos, Doichas Shabbos. I have a riddle. What does this line have to do with today? Today, mamish today. Doichas Shabbos, not Doichas Shabbos. It's a nice guess, but what does it have to do with today?
You couldn't do it till now. Couldn't do it.
So what?
Now you can do it.
What do you mean?
Right?
Oh, we have Tamid Chachamim here. Today is a very special day in the Omer. It's Erev Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh. So there are those who say that you're allowed to shave today, like myself, especially if you're a Magid Shir. It's a big thing. But there are those who say you can't, the Sfardim, most Sfardim, there are Sfardim that say you could. Now, even today, there's a Shaila. What's a Shaila? If you, the Mishnah Berurah doesn't talk about the Rebbe Yehuda Chassid, but if you're makbid on Rebbe Yehuda Chassid, which a lot of people are, like not to call your, not to have the same name as your Mechutin, all sorts of Rebbe Yehuda Chassids. What? 2 brothers, 2 sisters. So I guess Stefansky that happened twice, I think, in Stefansky. But my father changed his name.
But there is certain things that everybody was makabel at Savas Rebbe Chassid, and certain things.
Wait, let's discuss. So the Stipler of Osner hold that if you're makbid on Rebbe Yehuda Chassid, you should not shave today on Rosh Chodesh because typically, one of the things he says, not to shave on Rosh Chodesh. I try to be makbid on it unless I forget. I usually remember and I don't. But comes Rebbe Yashiv, it says it's not a problem. Even if you hold a review the chazit, you can shave today. And Moshe uses this svara of since it can't be done beforehand, so you're allowed to do it today. In other words, we couldn't shave yesterday because it's mil sfira. The only opportunity is today, so then Rebbe Yehuda Chassid doesn't apply, says Ramosha. In Rebbe Yehuda Chassid. Okay, B'shiev shalala soisa. Yeah, you hold the first days. If you don't hold the first days, then you go on to Rosh Chodesh. Here in Eretz Yisrael, I think most people go with the first days. In America, the guys that work and they shave, so they go by both days. It's a thing. Okay. What does he bring down? Yeah. Okay. But first you have to learn the Mishnah Berurah. Says the Mishnah. Kol ha-menachos yesh bohem ma'aseh kli b'fnim. All menachos you have to do the different avodah of lisha and aricha inside a kli, inside the Beis Hamikdash. B'fnim. You do it with the kli inside the Beis Hamikdash. And you don't do these things outside of the Beis Hamikdash. The lisha, the aricha, the kneading, the forming of the bread. Shtei alechem, the two breads, arka shiva tfachim. Okay, so a tefach, the machlokes between Chaim Noah and Chazon Ish, is a tefach like 4 inches or 3 inches, 8 centimeters or 10 centimeters. I forgot, I put my tape measure, my American one, but I forgot to bring it. I have the Israeli one, 10 centimeters. This is 10 centimeters, like 4 inches. So we're going to go, like say, with the Chazon Ish, 10. So 70, 7, it says 7 tfachim, right? Shiva tfachim, like this. And Rachba arba tfachim. 4 is 40. Now, here's the thing. I was thinking to myself, how in the world are you going to remember? Here, Eli said 70 by 40. It's very hard to. Oh, so I schlepped with me the prop yesterday. It's a suitcase, basically. It's the size of a suitcase. There's a regular. This we brought with us. It's a regular suitcase. Here, I'll show you. Yeah. Look at this. See 70. You can't see. Here, I'll go this way. He's saying, yeah, he has no idea, but he's right. See, 70. Where's no, 70.
No screen, it says 80.
And then you have on this side 40. We have to do 40. So mom's like this. Where's Gevaldik? Oh.
Yeah, I'll pick it.
Yeah, the width. Here we go, width. So it's what? No? 40. Why isn't that all? It's mom's the same. Okay. It's to give you the size. I didn't say it's exactly the size. Hello, this guy should be working in the airport. Yeah, sir, you're 1 centimeter over. It's okay. Exactly, this is Chazon Ish. Reb Chaim Noah is not. It's much less. Okay, fine. The problem is here. We're going to get to a problem now with the suitcase. Right over here. Oh, I should have done this one. It's a little easier on the flat part. Right over here, they put horns. How big are these horns? Arba etzbois. 4 fingers. Basically, almost a tefach. Lechem aponim. Orkoi asar tefachim. Oh. So lechem aponim is almost a meter, according to Chazon Ish. So now, it worked out Moridik. I'll tell you why. Check this out. So this is the suitcase, right? It's not a problem. So you get here. I need another 30, right? Here we go. Another 30. Here we go, another 30. It's Moridik. Oh, yeah. Fine. So, Lechem Apon, imagine this. Your Lechem Apon is this big, this wide, with the same, unbelievable.
The props on the side over there.
Zog the Gemara. We're going to see it's boys. Now, we have to remember this. The Gemara is going to talk about this. It's easy numbers, 5 by 10. It's double as long as it is wide. It's 10 tfachim long, according to Chazon Ish, a full meter, and 5 tfachim, a half a meter wide. Now, if we pause here, the shulchan was exactly that measurement, 5 by 10. So that means the bread fit exactly on the table. But the problem is there was 2 stacks of breads. So what do? How did 2 stacks of bread fit if the whole bread takes up the entire table, 5 by 10? It's keren shevetz boys, 1 3/4 tfachim, massive keren, big corners on top. If you oimer shleitite zedad yahaz, I have a beautiful way to remember it. Zayin dalad dalad zedad. It's 7 by 4, and the tfachim, and the top keren is 4 fingers. Zedad. Yahaz. Now, how in the world does this help us? So this is the famous review that says the tzach adash b'chav.
So that's why he's called Rosh Hashanah B'chol Makom, because he's able to say things the most concise.
He's showing that. Yeah.
Rosh Hashanah B'chol Makom. Right here, there with Reb Shimon B'Yochai, the whole. The truth is, everybody remembers the tzach adash b'chav, but you can just remember it's Tamazoi. There's a famous joke that they say. You can remember, everybody remembers Dam, Tzvardea, Kinim, or so why do you need the tzach adash b'chav? So they say that makas without a simon, that's really in Hebrew. If it doesn't leave a mark, it's not makas. It needs. Okay. Then we also have baskel of Yigoidu. These interesting, sometimes funny words stick. Zedad Yahaz. Okay. Yahaz is 10 tfachim by 5 tfachim. Yud Hey. And Zayin, the keren is 7. Ben Zoyma Oimer, Venosata al Shulchan Lechem Panim Lefonai Tomid, Lefonai, Lechem Panim Shuloi Panim. What is Lechem Panim? It should have faces. It shouldn't be like our bread today is a roundish kind of bread. It's a glob of dough. It should be faces. It should have walls. Like a Lechem Panim is square. Another pshat is Pinim. It should have like angles. So it basically should have that keren on top. Okay? Hashulchan Aruch Asara v'roch boy chamisha. Oh, so now let's see this video of the Shulchan. It's a beautiful video. Again, I recommend, especially if you're watching the gold, when he polishes the gold, watch it in the new screen. You'll see a big difference. All right. So the Shulchan Aruch, where are we? Shulchan Aruch Asara. The Shulchan is 10 tfachim long. V'roch by chamisha, 5 tfachim wide. Lechem apanim Aruch Asara, v'roch by chamisha. Each bread is the same exact measurement, 10 by 5. So what do? You take the long way, the 10 tfachim, and put it on the short way, on the 5 tfachim. Nois and Aruch can get roch by Shulchan. So you take the long bread and you put it on the short. So now you have a couple of tfachim extra on each side. How many total tfachim do we have extra? We have 5 total, and on each side we divide the 5 by 2. So it's 2.5 on each side. Again, it's 10 tfachim long, and you put it on the 5 tfachim width. So you're missing. It overhangs 5 tfachim. To do it on one side, it would be 5 tfachim. And now you break it up in 2, and you do it on 2.5 tfachim on this side, 2.5 tfachim on this side. Then what? Then you take it and you fold it up. You fold the bread up, so that the bottom of the bread is only 5 tfachim, and it sits on the width of the table 5 tfachim. What else are you going to do? No, that's not nice in the Beis Hamikdash. Bread that doesn't fit. You have a table that doesn't fit. What are you? A poor person folding it. It looks beautiful. Look at it. It came out nice. Yeah. So it comes out that you're 5 tfachim on the table. Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda argue on one thing. How much is a tefach? A nama. A nama either is 5 tfachim or 6 tfachim. So Reb Meir holds, it does say in the Torah how big the Shulchan is. It says it should be an amma by 2 amma. But how many tfachim does an amma have? Reb Meir holds the amma has 6 tfachim. So 6 times 2 is 12. HaShulchan Aruch Shnei Masar. and it's 1 amma wide. Amma wide is not 5 tvachim, it's 6 tvachim. V'roch b'shisha. Lechem upon him, but the lechem upon him is the same size according to Rameir. Arka asar v'roch b'chamisha. Nois and arka connected to roch b'shulchan. So now you put a 10 tvachim bread on a 6 tvachim table. So how many you have overlapping? 4. So you put 2 on each side. So you fold it up, 2 in each. It seems like, from the first Israel at least, that this you do already before you bake it. Now, the table is 12 tvachim long. The bread is 5 tvachim wide. 2 times 5 is 10. And you're on a 12 tvachim table, so you have 2 tvachim extra between the 2 stacks of breads. What do you do with those 2 tvachim? They should have a lot of nice wind, they ask. As we're going to see at the end of the sugya, or somewhere in the end, we're going to mention the story that we spoke about, that there was heat that came out of the bread a week later. It was one of the nisim in the Beis Hamikdash. So why do we need to be careful about the wind? And it was a nace, the whole thing. But at the end of the day, you have to act b'derech hateva and then expect a nace. And sometimes maybe Klai Yisrael wasn't zoich to the nes, different kufas in Klai Yisrael. Not true, as we had many times. Here, the bezichim, the 2 spoons of the levina were in between the breads on the bottom. That's why I need 2 tefachim, not for the ear. It says al. You should put the levina al on top of. If you're going to take the word al literally, so then Ephraim is going to be under Menachos. The Menachos is going to be sitting on top of them. It means, what does it mean? It means that they're going to be living next to, not on top of. So over here also, the levina is next to, not on top of. So these snifim we spoke about the other day, it looks something like, if I can find it, snifin. These walls, according to one shita, were wide walls. There were 4 of them, 2 for each stack of breads, and they kind of held the breads in place. Their heads split, and they would put on them each stack of breads got 2. They had 28 pipes, and they were cut in half. Arba, so let's say there's 14, 28 divided by 2 is 14 to each side. Arba, so let's say if you have 6 breads and each bread got 3, so 3 times 6, or actually 3 times 12 is 36, but there's only 28 because the top ones didn't get, and we'll see in the Gemara. But anyways, here the kanem, he's putting in a kanem. It's not 100% accurate. This is more AI because it seems like the kanem is longer. It's already in place and it's already sticking out. Well, you get the idea. This is for later on. Here for this part, to do what he's doing in this picture, to put these kanem in place, you cannot do on Shabbos because that's binyan, and to take them out would be stira. So you can't do that on Shabbos. You do this erev Shabbos. When the bread's already there, you remove the kanem, shell, shulchan, and you put it over here. Like in this picture, see on the bottom, the kanem are laying underneath the table, but to the length of the table, not to the width of the table. It could be has to do with this last line. How do you place the? I don't have a great picture here, but this should do for us. This is the length of the Beis Hamikdash, the red arrow. You come in from the Mizrach and you're facing Ma'irav. The Kodesh HaKadoshim is a Ma'irav. So when you're placing the shulchan, the menorah, it should be on the line of the arrow, the red arrow. That's the direction they should be facing. So if you take a look at this picture, mamish shvach, but over here you have the shulchan. It's in the direction of the arrow towards between Mizrach and Ma'irav, not between north and south, Tzaf and Daram. Okay. Says the Gemara, Shalos Rabbi, they asked Rabbi, Zuminayin, how do you know that the Lisha, Daricha need a Kli? Omar Lahem, Arei Oimer, it's in the Pasuk. It's talking about Yecheskel, he got a Nevuah. He says, this place right over here, you see the Malach tells him, this is where they're going to cook the Asham, the Chatas. Yeah? Because listen, Shom Yechonaim is the Chatas of the Asham. How are you going to eat a Chatas and Asham? Chaz Hashem, the kohen gets to eat it. Where do you cook it? You bring it home and cook it? You can't. Why can't you? Yoitze. Once you take it out, it's a big problem. Ooh. Say it, don't worry about it. Yoitze. So you have to cook it inside the Beis Hamikdash. Where are you cooking it? Inside a kli. So he says, Asher Yoifu is ha-mincha, and also he sticks in right after the Chaz Hashem, the mincha, baking the mincha. So you don't take it outside. Mincha du mida Hashem v'chata, so it's a hekesh. The mincha is similar to Hashem v'chata. Ma Hashem v'chata sunim kli. Just like the Hashem v'chata, you cook it in a pot. Af michanami to a kli. That's how I know you need a kli, and if you need a kli, it has to be done inside because it gives a kedusha. And once it gives a kedusha, you cannot take it outside. Says the Gemara. If the breads were 2.5 tfachim wider than the table, and you have to bend it upwards, so then each bread is going to be 2.5. Thank you. Each bread is going to be 2.5 tfachim tall. And check it out. Here we go. Here's the 6 breads times 2.5 tfachim. 2.5, if you do part of it, this is how I do it. 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. Times 3, because there's 6 breads, right? 6 divided into 2 is 3. So yeah, 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. Times 3 is 15. So you have 15 tfachim height over here. 2.5 times 6. You do 2.5 times 6. People like myself do 2.5 times 2 is 5. Times... Right, whatever. You do it your way, I do it my way. I'm just telling you how... I break it down to smaller pieces. 2.5 plus 2.5 is 6. And we have 5. 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5. And we have 6 breads. You do this 3 times. You do this process 3 times, you get to 15. It's easy to do 2.5 times 6?
Yeah, that's right. It's more steps.
Yeah, but it's easier steps. Easier steps.
I do the same.
Anais nigla. Anais nigla. Do you do 2.5 times 6 right away?
Yeah.
You do like me. We went to Yeshiva, 2 Israeli guys.
Monkash, baby.
You learned in Russia.
I did maths in uni.
You what?
I studied maths in uni. I do the same thing.
What math?
Mathematics in university.
Oh, you study mathematics in university and that's how you do the same thing?
Exactly.
The geniuses do it like that.
Yes.
Good. These pshutayam, these pop, what do they call them? But he's just the son of a mathematician. He thinks he knows his stuff. I bet you ask your father, he does it like me. 2 plus 2.5 plus 3. Okay. Don't make chayzik. Oh, now that even in Panovich we do it Aryeh's way, because now it's 2. It's not a half. So 2 times 6 equals 12. That most people know. So what is going on here? Rabbi say, pause for a second.
1 and 2 times 5 on that.
Rabbi say, what's going on here? What is pshat? He's saying that the kedusha, the table gives kedusha. The table's on the bottom, that golden piece gives kedusha all the way up, 15 tefachim up, 12 tefachim up. Of course, it gives kedusha. What is he coming to tell us? He's coming to tell us that if you take, let's say, a sack of flour and put it on top of those breads, they're going to become kaddish because the kedusha extends to that area up there.
Even on top of the top bread?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good shaila. Maybe on the 5th level. Who knows?
Sitting on top of a pile of mattresses.
Yes, but it's the opposite way. It goes, yeah, it's going upwards. Ask the Gemara. How's your math? How's your math correct here? You're looking at the breads, only the breads. He's telling each bread is 2 tefachim times 6. Each bread is 2.5 tefachim times 6. Either you got the 12 tefachim. You forgot about the little pipes that go in between the breads. They also take up room. Says the Gemara, these pipes don't take up any room at all. They actually they rest inside the bread. You saw there's a little indentation in the bread. They're in the breads. Says the Gemara, it makes no sense what you're telling me. Why do you need these pipes at all? You need pipes to keep the air flowing. If they're completely indented in the bread, then the breads are laying on top of each other. There's no airflow. My time is shumi pushi lechem. So if lechem, it's going to rot or whatever the word is. Mold. Thank you. The magbele purta, they extend slightly outside of the bread. Here are the half of the things.
Pipes are for that, or so that they're too heavy, one on top of the other. They're gonna crush each other.
Well, both and both. Oh, look at this. Look at this. It's a beauty. Moilik.
Aren't the pipes going the wrong direction?
Oh, my Shablash is here. Why the wrong direction? No. We said each. No. Listen, the Gemara said before, each maracha, each row of bread gets their own pipes. As we said, 14 and 14. The Mishnah said it before. The magulei purta, it sticks out a second. So it says Gemara purta. So it's not 15. It's 15 plus that little drop that extends. So the Gemara, you're right. We're not going to count that small amount that extends. Ask the Gemara, what about the bezichin that lay on top of the bread? According to this man, the Omer that says it's on top of the bread, so now it extends more than 15 plus a spoon. They actually, as we saw in this picture, or maybe we didn't see it. Where was that picture? Here. They're inside. They didn't take up any room. They were on the bottom. And on top, so basically, yeah, they were inside. But what about the corners? You have these giant corners that are 7 fingers each by 7 fingers, or 4 by 4. 7 fingers is 1 3/4 tefachim. It's a pretty significant keren. Says Gemara, kronis legavei the lechem kayflu. They would have to bend them inside, like this picture right over here. You have the corners, but they're bent inside. V'lechem alayu nochlei, and then you put breads on top of each other. The art scroll wonders if these corners are bent inwards and they're 1 3/4 tefachim, but you also have the actual width of the bread, which is a tefach. So it bends. You can actually see right over here. You see that little square. But kitzer, it's 1 tefach plus 1 3/4 tefachim. Each side is 1 3/4 tefachim is just the corner, that piece by itself, plus the width of the bread. That's 2 3/4. 2 3/4 plus 2 3/4 is more. I don't know the math, but it's more than 5. It's 5.5. Oh, 5.5. 5.5. I know the math. It's 5.5, but it's more than 5. So in Mela, if you look in the art scroll, according to one pshat, he has a pshat that they go inwards. That's why he has these funny looking corners that go like this. That's where maybe Trump got his. Oh, first of all, what is Sfina Rikedes? So you, Arya, you sent me a very nice picture, so I'm going to show that picture. This is a nice Sfina Rikedes that. Chachapuri. According to Sfina Rikedes, it's a balagan. I'm not going to get into it. But yes, they do stand. They're on an angle, and they come like this, different angles. B'kitzur, it's a sipur. I'm not getting into the Sfina Rikedes. Says, the sponsors. We'll do sponsors. Turning of the daf, Adar Global, experts in cross-border payments. Says the Gemara. Vo'ikom izgartoi. Oh, beautiful. I want to remind the Olam, seriously, I'm not making this up. We hired an artist because Ein Aniyas B'Mokum Ashirus, he's expensive. We hired him just for the Kelim of the Beis Hamikdash. He's been working on this for 3/4 of a year or so, just things, and we didn't know. We had to make a decision. Should we do it or not? We didn't have anything pushing us right at that, but we said, listen, we're going to come to it. And we might need it, and here we go. So he was up for many nights lately, especially in the Shulchan, all the Shulchan stuff, brand new for MDY, the way it fits into the Beis Hamikdash. He's also doing the 3D, so you can walk in the Beis Hamikdash, get around from room to room. But these kind of things are very important, at least to me, so I'm happy we hired him. Mizgarti Lamala is, you can see over here, there's a frame around the Shulchan on top. Now, this frame is exactly in the 5 by 10. The bread is 5 by 10. It's 5. It cannot fit into this mizgeret. So it'd have to lay on top of the mizgeret. Even that little amount. You can't push around in the Beis Hamikdash. Everything's exact. So it have to be on this mizgeret. Now the mizgeret is this tall. So you got to count this plus. So it's not 15 tefachim. It's not 12. It's more. Says Gemara, here, something like this. There was that decorative thing on the bottom. That's the mizgeres. So the top of the table was completely flat. Now, even according to the Mando Omar, it says that they did have a mizgeres. How do you say mizgeres in English? A frame. On top, that you could answer parkude hava miparkido. Check this out. I think Yoshi did this one. But basically, it tilts a little bit. Like a guy leaning on a rocking chair, some sort of chair. He's a lazy boy, laying backwards a little bit. So there's a little bit of an angle to that frame, and therefore the bread, which is exactly 5 tefachim, fits beautifully inside. And the bread was fit inside. Give the sanya like we learned. Rabbi Yossi argues on this whole thing, on this whole picture right over here. He disagrees. He says we didn't have these walls, these snifim. It does say in the Torah snifim, so we have to understand what he meant. He says that the frame, this frame, and that's it. That's what held the bread in place, that didn't let it shift. I guess the weight of each bread weighed 10 pounds, right? 2 sroinim per thing. So we say today it's 2.5 kilos, so about 10 pounds of bread. So you have nice weight, each one on top of the other, and the mizgeres just didn't let it come out of place. They told him, what are you talking about? You have to have sniffing because the mizgeres went downwards. Okay. If you have a piece of wood, a flat piece of wood, like this is not mekabel tuma. Why? Because it's pshutei kliyetz. It's a simple piece of wood. If it has a frame like this, so it could contain something, so it becomes a kli, it's mekabel tuma. So now what do you do with the tabletop? Table is flat. L'chayra, it shouldn't be mekabel tuma. But on the other hand, it has something that's very similar to a kli that has a base kibble, and that is a table. It's holding Mendi Orbach's tefillin, coffee, glass. It's massive. It has width. It has that itself should make it a kli. So says Rabbi Yochanan, can I prove it from the shulchan? The shulchan is mekabel tuma. Why? Why is the shulchan mekabel tuma? It's just a table. L'chayri, you see from here that even a flat table is mekabel tuma. Oh, so you're going to tell me, but the table had a mizgeres. So according to that mandama, you're right. I don't have a great raya. But according to the mandama, that the mizgeres was downwards, it was upside down, and this part was flat. L'chayri have a raya that a flat table is mekabel tuma because it's a table, because it has width. A table that I could flip over. It doesn't matter if I use it this way or that way. I guess in those days they had like these portable tables. So they have them today also. You have these legs that go this way, and then you put just a piece of like a TV dinner kind of thing. What are they called? Snack table. Okay, look up snack table. You'll find it. It goes like this. You put a piece of, but you could go this way or that way. It doesn't matter which way you put it. So tavam misapech is tmeya. Exactly, milchus fleishiks. That's what they used to bring, because it says they used to move the tables out of there by dessert. There's different gemaras that say, the mafan of the table. Just reading Rashi here. Tmeya. Keshulchan shel migdash shoy mekabel tuma. Can the farish come on? Vein tavla zu kashar pshutikli eitz. Why is it not a pshutikli eitz? Says Rashi the ruchavahi. It's very wide. The ruchavahi base kibula. Fine, great. So says the Gemara. But if you say that the frame was upwards, I'm not going to have a good raya from here. So you tell me that the shulchan of the Beis Hamikdash was mekabel tuma. I have a big problem. This bookcase right over here, made out of walnut, I think. Yeah, it's walnut. Is it mekabel tuma? No. Why? It's not moving. This one is different. This is mamish built in. Forget that. But maybe even this table right here doesn't move. Hasn't moved. This top, yes. The actual table, sometimes people try to push it a little. They try to get coffee, so they give it a shtickle push. Then it comes Kriyas Torah, you can't open up this thing. It wasn't designed 100%. But anyways, next place marriage. But there's certain things, like this table, maybe should not be mekabel tuma. Why? Because it's lenachas. It's just here to stay. It's not meant to be moved. Any piece of wood that's meant to be in one place is not Mekabel Tumah. My time, and how do I know this? Dumi the sack being, and it has to be similar to a sack. Just like a sack. I learned Tumah from a sack, and a sack is something that I could fill up, empty out, but I move it. It's movable, metaltal. So to everything else has to be something that I can move, empty and full. Oh, so here comes the Gemara, the famous Gemara. Shulchan Nami metaltal moliverek. You should know that the Shulchan used to be moved. Kiddush Lakish, like Rish Lakish taught us. Tamar Lakish. Make sure that the Shulchan should be tar. What do you mean? Make sure. Tar meklal tame. What? You can make it tame. El melamed. Yes, you could make it tame. They used to raise it up and show all the people that came for Yontif. They would show them, look at this beautiful nest. It's one of the things that you got, the advantages of going to these Hamidus, you get to see this nest. Look how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves you. There's a great miracle that happened with the Lechem Aponim. When they removed the bread on Shabbos, it was just like when they put it on Shabbos, like this says, if they baked it on Shabbos, there was heat coming out. Here we go, check this out. Ruchi Baschem, it's unbelievable. Ruchi Baschem. We have this. Yeah? They by the door at least. I don't know. What is over here shows the mamash out. Okay. Somebody asked me another question. A Rebbe sent me an email. First of all, shout out to him and his class. They watched. They had a good kasha. Like he says, in the video it showed 3 chatzaiches. There's only 2. Like different nekudas, like the artists don't know 100%. They do barach, what they learned a little bit. They don't know all the halachas. And it comes out 2 kashas he asked me there about a certain video we just showed, and he showed his kids. Okay, oh, Rabbi Isai, the tzipui. So if you remember, in the beginning, I'm not going to show it again, but this guy, maybe while I'm saying the Gemara, I could show it again. So put it on low. So you have the covering of the shulchan made out of gold, and that is Mekabel Tumah l'chayra. So we have to know: does the table go by the wood underneath, or by the not the covering? What's the good word? The plating. The plating on top. The plating is Mekabel Tumah. It says if you have a shulchan hadulbaki, you have a folding chair, shenifchasu got broken, or shechipam b'shayish. Oh. So this also has a plating made out of marble. And it's large enough to... Oh, did I miss the part where he knocks it and does it? Okay. So over there you can see that he puts in a couple of nails. I mentioned it before. So that was the shiloh. It doesn't really make a difference. The Gemara says at the end. Okay. So you have a broken folding chair, but it has enough room to put some cups on it. To put your beer when you go to the beach, like whatever people do with it. Oy, no, Tameim, Tame. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Makoim Hanochas Chatichos. Not good enough to put your beer can. You need a larger place to put your steak down for the barbecue. But Akopanim Shir in Loy Shir Loy. It's only if you have enough space to put your cup. But if not. Why? Why is it not Mekabel Tumah? Because the covering, the plating of the marble takes over. And a plating of marble is not Mekabel Tumah. So you see the plating, you have to consider the plating. And over here, it's plated with gold, and gold is Mekabel Tumah, so maybe that's why are you telling me that they moved it? Who cares if they moved it? Even if Rish Lakish is wrong. They never moved it. It's Mekabel Tumah because it has gold. It's a gold clean. Gold is not wood. Gold is Mekabel Tumah. You'll tell me, oh no. There's an afkamina, the shulchan has a covering that didn't use nails. And if it doesn't use nails, it's just, you pop it off, it's not considered a real gold plating. But But this exactly is what Rish Lakish asked Rabbi Yochanan. B'tzipa yoyim, b'tzipa she'en yoyim. Did the shulchan have a plating that had nice nails? You couldn't remove it or not? B'shechiba, as the basbezin over here in my Gemara it says the basbezov, but in Rashi it says the basbezin, and a lot of Gemara says the basbezin. We'll say both readings. I don't know why they said lebizbezov. I don't know. Oish b'shaloi chipa is the bizbezov. I know they did a lot of work to get the pronunciation correctly, but Rashi says for sure the bizbezin with a nun. Fine. What? Oh, it's the shita. Okay, fine. That's why. Oish b'shaloi chipa is the bizbezov. So Rabbi Yochanan says, I don't care. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter if he knocked it in with nails, with glue. Whether you covered the frame, you didn't. It goes by what you covered it with. And so therefore, if you covered it with gold, it should be Mekabel Tumah. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day. Have a good Shabbos. Motzi Shabbos. 10 o'clock for English? No. 10 o'clock for English, 11 o'clock for Hebrew. Gute Shabbos.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.